We've unlocked fast travel. We fast traveled Brinchander.
Yeah.
We go to the glowy save point.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good, actually.
Use tent and...
Let's get my dailies back.
Yeah. And
I will transfer my Dispel Magic into Kolga Lendar, my Shield Guardian.
Dispel Magic Shield Guardian. Now, if only there was a Haste Shield Guardian, that would be badass.
I guess the only RP thing you might notice is that, like, upon achieving this power and finally having some security feeling in this land, Zev's, not only does her confidence level rise, but she certainly seems much more hell-bent on getting this done. Certainly obsessive about getting into the Reged Glacier, but, first things first, we gotta take care of a mad goddess.
And some giant butthole.
It's her time of the month.
So she's, like, certainly acting a bit more heroic, but you can see that, like, hint of madness behind her eyes from, like, everything that's been going on.
All right.
Love that for you.
Thank you. Get it, girl.
So the journey to Brinchander is basically uneventful with the help of a giant robot that will do your bidding. And you take your long rest in your warm bed, gain the benefits thereof, and set out in the morning with Valin in tow, I imagine. Mm-hmm. She will be bringing her undead kobolds who man the sleigh and act as her, henchmen, basically. Bitch boys. And your preferred method of travel to Solstice is Angajuk, is that correct?
Whale.
Yeah.
All right.
Yep.
If we don't ride the whale in this campaign...
I know, they have a picture for it in the book.
We'll have cheated ourselves.
Confirm we are level 8, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep, you are level 8.
Cool.
You may gain a level next week.
Nice.
If you live to tell about it.
Yeah. If.
If
it's always good.
So, when you arrive back at Brinchander, Valin is waiting, hopefully to see you arrive successfully, and greets you at the door to your manor house, which I imagine is where you're going to be sleeping. And takes one look at the giant robot behind you, and it's drawing a crowd. People don't have a lot of big spectacles to look on these days. Mostly it's just frozen terror. So when a robot starts walking through town, like the kids start like following it. At first they're like cautious because they're like peeking out behind the frozen rain barrels and snowdrifts, and then they see it's with you, so they start to enthuse a bit.
Wave.
We should charge for this.
Give it a hat and a cane.
We both wave at the same time, actually.
There you go. We should get like one of the Brinchander's guard uniforms and just like drape it over him like a tabard.
If there's a way we can decorate
That's
this guy, I think Zev's going to do it.
Yeah.
But then also just to make it like less scary for people, because I'm sure it's fucking terrifying for the people who
Absolutely.
don't know what the fuck is going on.
I mean, they have giant banners outside the gates that, if you were to cut a head hole through, you could probably just drape it over and make a tunic.
Or tie it up into
Yeah.
a diaper. But yeah, either way.
Make it the Brinchander official codpiece.
Heck yeah, he gets a 10-town circa.
Yeah.
Available on our Patreon for $35.99.
Get the mayor's face right on the dick.
Oh my god.
No, she's cool. We like her.
Yeah, Devessa's nice.
Oh, you could do like a pinup drawing on the butt cheek of the robot of Duvessa, like.
Yeah.
It would be tasteful.
She's got a quill in one hand and a come hither on the other.
Yeah, exactly.
It's respectful.
I want to decorate this now. I want to do an art project.
All right, 3-week long rest while everybody graffitis
Bedazzles
the
the
robot.
Can we give it jeweled nipples?
It already has those.
Yeah.
Give it the Clooney Batman nipples.
I think since it's kind of known that we're going off on a big cool quest, I'll give this as Zev will try to spin this into a nice morale boosting thing for people of Brinchander, that they can kind of leave their mark on the robot to kind of give their blessings and
Like people signing a cast.
sort of like that, except more like we're delivering a message to the Frost Maiden and like.
Oh, so when they write
It's just all
snarky
middle
messages
fingers.
on the bombs before they drop them on
Yeah.
That's much
Easter
more.
eggs for
civilian
Hitler.
villages. Yeah.
Yeah.
Eat shit, you frosty bitch!
Yeah, totally can be doable. So once the commotion settles down and the art and crafts projects are well and truly underway, Valin will start to approach you and discuss, while you were gone, I took that time to commune with my Professor Orb and find out what it was able to glean about the Isle of Solstice and the Mythalar. without the codicil of white to fill in some of the gaps, it was able to make some educated guesses. There is likely to be some kind of trial or test that you'll have to undertake. These things are common among the deities, and their history of posing these challenges to their followers in order to gain their favor is a fairly common thread. I'm not sure how you should prepare for this, but bear in mind that the spheres of influence that Auriel moves around are endurance, preservation, isolation, and cruelty. So be prepared for challenges that will push you in that direction.
I'll look at Niantai.
Well, I hope it's multiple choice. I'm not good with long-form challenges.
I was gonna say, is there like a PSAT like guidebook that we can buy? Just...
In addition, when we reach the island, I don't know what kind of opposing force, if any, we'll encounter. The children of Auriel have been known to travel to and from that island by ways of, I think, just either mundane ships or maybe some form of magical travel. I haven't been able to identify exactly how they're doing it. But they are known to go back and forth. And their whereabouts are currently unknown. They may be all on the island or they may be points elsewhere. We will have to be somewhat surreptitious when we make landfall and make sure we're not walking into a den of children of Auriel.
At the very least, we know that about 20 hours ago, Evie was still on the island because we saw her through the mirror.
That's true.
We're taking a short rest, right?
Long.
Long rest.
Get all your shake.
Just wanted to make sure.
Yep. Perhaps checking the mirror before we are to land would be a good use of its power.
Absolutely.
Trying to think if there's anything else Valin would want to share with you.
I could ask something.
Yeah, go ahead.
Do you recommend any experts from these 10 towns that we could take with us for logistical purposes? People skilled in expedition, Sherpas, or whatever, or what have you.
Even simple guards for our
Just
equipment on the
bags
shore.
of hit points. I mean,
As far as
Staying goblin, we don't say that part.
as far as subject matter experts go, there is only one area in which I feel that our current group is lacking, and that is a religious expert.
What of that gnome? Copper.
Copper
He's
Nobbernock.
a man of faith, isn't he?
Didn't you go back to the cabin?
He is still in town, but we also interacted with a tiefling who was previously working with Avarice and now hates Avarice's guts.
Mm-hmm.
And if we can reach her, like with a message spell or something, she'd probably be perfect for it.
That would be good. Indeed, somebody of the faith who can channel spells. Zeb just looks around. We are indeed quite a secular lot, aren't we?
Yes, a religious person would probably be able to help us with healing magics, and in addition, would be able to fill some knowledge gaps that we as a group possess, specifically religious, since we are going to a den of a goddess. That would be a area of knowledge I think we would be sorely missing if we didn't have one.
Do we have a means of reaching this tiefling?
Lynn might have the message spell. And she knows Avarice, so she probably knows who the apprentice is.
Yep. Let me just double check to make sure she has it. I'm sure she probably does.
I can't remember that character's name, but I remember we interacted with her early and
Asterisk.
we her back. Yes!
Asterisk.
Asterisk.
Yeah.
I don't know if Zeb would know about Animal Messenger, but she could suggest that to you as well. So.
And her good buddy Oleeks.
Yeah. And the Little Prince.
And are there other
And semicolon.
religious people that we could call upon? You know, I can't.
The two of them, Asterisk and Copper, seem like the two obvious choices to me. I don't know if there's anybody else that we really know that.
Well,
Yeah.
Where is Astra?
We're bringing Bear Dude, and Bear Dude probably has
Foxface?
religious knowledge. I think Foxface is dead.
Oh.
Yes. Valin does have message and does know Asterisk, so it's possible to message her.
Yeah, I would say let's make that request and see if we can get her involved. And I think...
Okay, so message is actually a cantrip.
Yes. Sending is the spell that we want.
And she does not appear to have sending...
we pay like 100 gold for a scroll of it and then just have her cast it from the
I
scroll.
think Copper's it. Sending's
Copper.
a third level spell. So
Copper could probably cast it too, so...
It's not a divine spell, usually.
What I would also say is, if we are going to bring any hirelings at all, let's bring like a handful of people that can watch our shit on the shore while we're in the actual isle, because like I have this fear that they're just going to kick the boat into the water and we're going to have no way to get back out.
Agreed.
I'm going to say that with the Shield Guardian in tow, you got a good look at Angajuk, so you can make a rough estimate at what kind of cargo the whale can carry.
We saw the howdah on the back, so we can kind of confirm that was him.
Yeah. With the Shield Guardian in tow, your party can balloon up to maybe 8 humanoids. With the shield, if you send the Shield Guardian to meet you, you could probably go up to like 12.
Okay. I think we should send the Shield Guardian to meet us. And I think we should bring, like, just a squad of whoever, like, the baddest asses are that are available to come defend the boat. Who want to volunteer, because I don't want to, like, tell people they have to do this. It's a suicide mission.
Well, if you're willing to pay them, you have the finest mercenaries in the realms at your command.
Yeah, I mean, we're willing to pay them. In that respect, Captain Scath, like, a 5% cut of the treasure, bring your best guys, like...
Resilient as this guardian is, I would not trust it alone in the deep waters, especially so close to the cult's lair, where they might have eyes beneath the water.
Isn't there still an octopus?
Yeah,
There's still
an octopus.
Yeah, it's a giant
wicked
squid.
yeah.
Indeed.
You were the octopus.
Oh,
Yeah.
Plus, it would be best if it remained within their vicinity.
Okay, that being the case, I'll water walk behind the boat with another 2 people for the spell.
Thank you.
Well, the boat will be
The
underwater.
Angajuk,
Yeah. And it'll be underwater.
We don't really need to bring anybody to defend it. I mean, unless...
I guess that's true, unless
fire
like
rings.
Angajuk just leaves, which is also a possibility. Okay, so in that case, we only have 2 slots for a religious expert and somebody else. Maximum party size.
Right.
We could take both of the religious experts, but considering Copper Nabernach is known to be a dick to other religious experts, that seems like a bad idea.
Yeah, I think we should probably find some sort of shipwright thing then. Somebody who can not only endure the elements out there, but also to potentially build us a new vessel if it really came down to that.
No, the Druid Werebear is our 8th guy.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Yes.
Then
Yeah.
That's it then.
He is that guy.
Angajuk.
Yeah.
Yes, I am Mantaruk is our
So
8th guy.
it's going to be you 5.
Yes.
William Mantaruk, Valin,
and the religious expert, which should be Asterix if she can
And
get here,
Asterix.
and Copper if it's not.
all right, and a Shield Guardian.
In the shield.
Which actually probably works out pretty well because, like,
Yeah,
while I think we should bring a bunch of ass kickers to watch after our stuff, we don't necessarily want to deplete the ability of Brimchander to defend
Right.
itself.
100%.
Part of my thinking, a little part of it, was that Captain Scath is likely to just, like, annihilate their wallets by selling his services as a mercenary while we're gone, but okay.
So Scath is staying behind then. So
Yep.
no ass kickers.
I really want to bring him, but no.
All right.
Angajuk is dope.
Yeah, William Mantaruk
Yeah, he's
is the
better
real
choice,
deal.
obviously.
All right, cool. So you are sending the Shield Guardian staying on the boat with you then?
Yeah.
Okay, good. All right, got it straight. All right, very good. So Valin will pose the next question. How do you intend to summon and barter with Angajuk?
Angajuk, there was something about a bell in that story we read, right?
That was the side quest was Angajuk's bell.
Yeah.
Is that what the whale seeks?
I think the bell summons it.
Yeah.
And what would the whale want from us?
A bell end.
Nice. your wit never ceases.
Yeah, we never actually figured that out, did we?
Freaking John McAfee over here.
I mean, we could just ask him, hey, where, man?
What do you
Where
want?
you
Yeah.
And he's like, you're alive. You can be like, where?
Fuck.
Where?
Guess we're gonna
Good
take a boat.
In that case, please take this religious expert.
Copper, jump in there.
You won't
Ready
want
up.
this.
He's a gnome, you could just punt him.
All right, so
Does Valen know what the whale would want?
no.
Okay.
Valin says, I've never met this creature.
They did.
I don't know what it desires. I imagine it wants what all whales want, to
Help.
eat
Krill!
fish and to be left alone.
Yeah. Anything in the Professor Orb about Angajuk's bell?
She communes with the orb, and she ponders her orb,
Mhm.
and she finds out the following things. Nothing.
I've updated my journal. This bitch is loco.
I pondered my orb.
Yeah, if she likes mushrooms, I can animate some mushroom guys and do those.
A lot of fish.
The Professor Orb knows only what's been fed to it via information that you've already gathered. That this is a ancient awakened sperm whale that was...
Child. Keep going.
No. Let's all stare at Kaylee and shame her.
Shame doesn't work, Brian. I've been trying it for 7 years.
All right, what
Do
does
it
the
more.
fish want?
I like that.
It was awakened by Helgren, and now just sails around and has been known to bring people here or there. Most of these are fish stories. You know, they've seen the whale, or someone said that they got a ride on it once, but nobody has any proof of it. Unfortunately, nothing solid.
If it has been awakened, perhaps it has some personal connections or desires that we can help fulfill.
I do not feel like this kind of creature is going to ask us for a tangible item as a bartering.
Well, then it's good we have a spiritualist coming with us.
And maybe asking for a bell. At one point, we got directions to somewhere for Angajuk's bell as a thing, right?
Mm-hmm. Angaju's bell is a thing.
Which one is that again?
I think it's 7.
Yeah, it's one of the ones on the coast. I forget. It's 7.
Kind of going that direction
5,
anyway.
yeah.
It's fine.
I think it was like a dungeon or a house. Or
Well, and the bell is also your only lead on how you would actually summon the thing. If you'll remember, the whalers from the Bear Tribe, who sail a lot, say they only see it every once in a while, and it's a great,
it's a good omen.
a good omen for a fishing voyage. They seek out this thing to try and get its favor, and they have trouble getting a hold of it. So, maybe this bell has some sort of magical property that will
New whale it is.
summon it.
I think that's what we got to do then.
All right.
Bell time.
Bell!
All right, so you set out, and you do have to wait sort of an extra 24 hours for Asterix to join the party. But when she does meet you, she's grateful to see all of you and apologizes in the rushed way that she took off the last time, but she was afraid of being found out by Avarice's agents, so she had to go into kind of a deep cover hiding situation. But upon receiving the message from Valin, she's more than happy to join your cause if it means that it can help Valin and not Avarice. That seems to be, aside from her cut of any loot, that seems to be like what's motivating her.
Welcome to the team, Asterix.
I'll do what I can. I was trained as a wizard's apprentice, but I've since taken up a greater calling, and I'll be happy to put that to work for all of you and your efforts here.
Outstanding.
Traveling northwesterly to the shore. Why don't you give me? It's a large party. I'll roll for the NPCs. You're going to need to make a couple of group survival rolls. Ben, your normal. You can hand out a bonus. Will fly.
Cool.
I'll give you advantage, Sai.
Ooh,
Yeah.
I don't need it. I rolled a 20.
Good.
Damn!
I did pretty well myself. Ooh, that's for me.
Oh, hey.
And are you sending up the bear signal when you get to the coast, or when are you sending up the bear signal?
I think so.
Yeah, I think we're going to have to do it there.
All right.
You take
Oya
my
can
thing.
probably
you take my
help
bonus
us
double.
persuade the whale.
Do we all
Get through whatever trials we have to.
pass it?
I don't know, but I've got one to use, so
Okay.
go ahead and use it.
Worse.
Yeah, okay, keep the yeah.
DC's 13, by the way.
I got a 12.
I got a 15.
15.
I have a 25, 9 ties is 17.
23.
Not 20.
Wow. Yeah, your NPCs rolled it's 5, 18, and a 19, so they're good.
Nice.
Your music has gone full NPR.
It has.
Lo-fi beats to beat the shit out of goddess, too.
Yeah.
Nautical polar radio.
So if I beats to beat off too.
Stressful.
Beach off.
Well, 5 beats to spin that.
I'd love to have a beach off right now.
So the first 24 hours of travel are very uneventful until Valin points out something that's been sort of gnawing at the back of your mind. How long has it been since you've seen the Aurora?
Who?
Oh, shit.
It's been a few days, right?
It's been a while, because it changed direction.
Change directions and nobody noticed.
When did we notice it disappear?
No, you really didn't.
What does that mean?
But the aura is gone? Or the aurora?
The Aurora has not appeared in more than 2 days, at least.
I've been
It means we gotta hurry our ass up, is what it means.
Yep.
I'm afraid of the portents of this. And Asterix will speak up if she's, within earshot. She'll say, this is, the Aurora is part of nature. Something with nature is very violently wrong. The Aurora appeared even before the Endless Winter. For it to have just vanished, it feels wrong. It feels wrong on a very natural level.
I wonder how they sucked it out of the sky and put it into whatever beacon we've got to go retrieve.
Put it into whatever bound in mortal flesh goddess on this earth is currently containing it, yeah. There's nothing we can do about it by theorizing on the road, right? Let's just get to where we're going as quickly as possible, fire up the bear signal, and get gone.
Yeah, if she's bound in mortal flesh, that means that flesh can be destroyed.
Yep, mortals can
I
die.
do have a mechanics question. Does the Shield Guardian's attacks count as magical? I don't think they do. It doesn't specify if they do.
It doesn't say they do. I don't think they do.
Okay, cool. Follow-up question. Does anybody have the spell Magic Weapon?
Nope.
Unrelated.
Yeah, just completely.
Nope.
I've probably tested.
No, I have elemental weapon.
That's something.
I can turn a stick into a shiggle.
That is an excellent start, son.
Oh, yeah, of course I don't have magic
I
weapon.
seek more just a way to
Warlock
enchant.
has
You
his
are a
magic
magic
weapon.
weapon,
To enchant Cloak's fists here. I think we will be dealing with some otherworldly things.
Oh.
And if my experience with demons has taught me anything, is that mundane weapons don't do very much.
I mean, that's the grapple stuff.
Indeed. And we can still shoot things. Pat's rifle.
So aside from this little conversation that Valin brings up, the journey is somewhat uneventful. It will take another round of survival checks to get there.
Jesus.
It's a long journey.
Do you want to advance the time gate?
I got a 13.
Oh,
Okay. Who
Ooh.
wants advantage?
roll again.
Yes.
Kate?
That's better.
Okay, cool. I did it again.
I think we have a clean sweep.
14.
Okay, good. Because both your NPCs failed.
Fuck those guys.
So with another day of travel across the dark, frozen tundra, you start to hear the sound of the waves and the ice crashing into the shore, and you know you're getting close. This might be the time for you to send up the bear signal if that's what you wish to do.
You're the bear signal.
I will summon the dancing lights, and then the Europop music will start playing.
How am I the bear signal?
You gotta fire up the what's it?
Oh, that's right. My thingamajabber.
Yeah, to have something that's visible for more than like 60 feet away.
Yeah, I
Just like we practiced, come on.
yeah, I turn it on. I rub it clockwise,
Yeah.
and then counterclockwise,
Yeah.
and then clockwise faster.
So it's a locker?
Yeah, I was gonna say, is your combination line from high school?
Yes, sir. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
And this is the what was it? The Summer Star?
Yep.
That you repaired? Is that that's how you're summoning them? Okay. You fire up the Summer Star. There is a burst of warmth and light that emanates from it, and you see above you the clouds start to shift and spread, and it appears that it might be either dawn or twilight. In the rest of the world, it's hard to tell because it's a somewhat dim purpley light that starts to filter down. And the last time you did this, it spread for a radius so far that you couldn't see the edge of it with the naked eye. Those of you who were able to determine the nature of the spell realize that it's like a 5-mile radius. Now, when you fire it up, you barely get what would be like a spotlight glimmer through the clouds that just sort of like this purpley filtered light just sort of leaves sort of a dim circle of light on the ground, maybe, 200-300 yards in every direction. It's comparatively very small.
But still visible from a
It's
distance.
still very visible. Although it seems being noticeably this much closer to solstice is making a big difference on the ability for this thing to control the weather.
That's weird, man. This thing used to really light up the sky. I don't know what's going on.
Planned obsolescence is the bane of this world.
It's not an iPhone, Kate.
Yeah, it's much better made than that.
Fewer people died during its construction.
And they weren't 5.
They weren't gnomes, so they're about the same size.
At least the same calories per serving.
Oh, yeah.
That's for you. That's in case you were wondering.
Good to know.
So yeah, you get this dim twilighty light that sort of illuminates the sky and makes it feel like it's almost like that very late part of sunset right before the stars really start to come out, and that's about all the reprieve you get from the winter weather. But it appears to be enough after you wait a couple of hours, preparing to make the rest of the journey on foot to the bell. You can hear the crunch, crunch, drag, drag of Oye Mantaruk and his sleigh, full of giant knucklehead trout, as they come trudging out of the darkness, and raises a big, meaty bear paw and says, "Your signal is less dramatic than the last time we met.
Probably for the best.
Didn't know you could put a silencer on that thing."
Nor did we.
Good to see you again, Oye.
It's good to see you as well. The repairs on the Black Cabin are underway.
Excellent.
Where do we head?
Our travels take us across the sea of moving ice to a place called the Isle of Solstice.
I know of it. I was afraid that's what you were going to say. It's a perilous journey and an even more perilous destination. See, you brought friends. That's good.
Shield Guardian waves.
That is an impressive construct.
He is Kulgalendar, my guardian.
And Oye Mantaruk reaches out a paw to shake. He's not really getting it, but...
Crunchy break his hand.
Gentle, probably puts out a couple of fingers.
No, it's literally the scene from Predator.
There's a freeze frame.
Yep.
There's light from behind,
Yep.
Jesus Christ.
And how are you intending to get across the ocean?
We are going to ring the bell and summon the whale. Have you experience with this?
I have experience with whales, and he pulls back the oil skin tarp of his sleigh, and it's just like a rack of giant fish. He's like, "This might help."
That's a lot of fish.
It's a big whale.
As simple as a snack?
I see you were
A full belly puts everyone in a better mood.
Truly, you were skilled
Cannot
negotiator.
argue with that.
And with that, your party sets off. And Angajuk, who's traveled this road many a time, can take you...
Angajuk,
I'm sorry. Oh, yeah, Mantaruk.
Is this a whale?
It's just sliding down the road.
I'm right behind you guys. Gling, gling.
We're freeing Willie today.
On your right.
Don't free your Willy.
Oye Mantaruk is able to bring you to what is looks like a giant-sized cabin, a stone cabin, built on the rocks overlooking the sea of moving ice. And when I say giant-sized, I mean literally a cabin-sized for a giant.
Cool.
Extending maybe 80 to 100 feet into the water is a dock carved from the natural forming ice on the side of the on the edge of the water. And mounted at the end of this icy dock is a giant-sized silver bell. It's covered in icicles and snow and frost. It looks like it hasn't been disturbed recently. But as you approach, Oye Mantaruk will say, "That is Angajuk's bell. I have not rung it, but I've heard stories from my friends that if you ring it, Angajuk will respond to its call. After that, it'll be on your negotiation skills to barter passage with the beast."
Shall we inspect the cabin first?
I was gonna say, do we want to check and make sure, what's her face, the giant? Do we want to check the mirror, before Angajuk gets here?
Yeah, that's probably a good idea. Just take a quick look-see.
Mm-hmm.
See where she's at.
Okay.
You can already speak with animals, right?
I can cast that spell, yeah.
I mean, do you want to save a spell slot? Because while she's doing that, it takes 10
I mean,
minutes.
the whale is awakened, so, we can just talk to
we
it.
can talk. Okay.
Yeah. So are we using the mirror?
Yes.
Okay. If you use it now, you won't be able to use it again for 7 days.
So we want to make sure. So.
Actually, to be a buzzkill, I think we used it last session.
No, we didn't.
No.
I don't think you do.
I thought we did.
used
I think
it
we were
7 days
saving
ago.
it.
Yeah.
Or, it was almost 7 days from the last time we had used it.
The last time we used it was to look at her.
Yeah.
That was
That's what I
definitely at least
thought,
7
yeah.
days ago.
Okay,
Yeah.
never mind.
Yeah, no, I mean, even if it wasn't, I'll give it to you. Because you've also had 2 days of travel now just to get out there, so. Plus, you're in
It's
Brinchander for a
gonna
couple of days.
Yeah.
It'll take you a day to
Yeah.
get down
I
from
would
the
say
mountains.
use it like
It's-
right now. It seems like appropriate
Yeah.
time.
Yeah. So we do want to make sure that, like, because it's a one and done, I can't scry multiple things. I just
Yep.
want to make sure that
Go
there's
take
nothing.
backsies.
We're going to need to know where she is. Even if she's not there, knowing where she is helpful.
And like good AI prompts, just put in a whole bunch of words. And then
Yeah.
you see a whole bunch of
Yeah, and then she comes back with, like,
no
12
fingers,
fingers and, like,
fingers.
rows of teeth and...
and other.
Her eyeballs
What are you
not
putting
where
into
they're supposed
AI?
to be.
So let me just make sure I get it straight. You are using the mirror and you're scrying Evite Helgren's daughter.
Correct.
All right. All right. You focus your concentration on the mirror. You feel your perception of your immediate surroundings slip away as your brain gets carried off to a distant place. You are disoriented to see that she is on the move, but she's on the back of a beast. It takes you a moment to parse this. Because all you can see is, you see the aurora, reflected in water below, and you feel, actually, you just would see. I think you just see. You don't get
Just
the full
see,
sensory, gambit. You see the aurora reflected off water below. You see that she is astride a giant-sized, bird, a snowy white rock, flying over the sea of moving ice. The aurora is distinctly at her back, and in front of her is dark. You're not sure her direction of travel beyond that. She is flying away from the island at the moment.
But she can see the aurora, and the rest of us cannot. That's important.
Well,
Yeah.
Aurora's behind her.
Yeah,
So
she
it's
could see
on the
the
opposite side of the island.
Yeah.
We'll be potentially going underwater then.
Why?
From the rock, she won't see us from the rock.
Oh,
She's flying away from us.
well, she's flying away from the island.
The
She could be going right
Yeah.
overhead.
I think
Yeah.
she'd be fine flying in our direction.
Yeah.
Of note, the without getting into like nautical miles and how things are visible, the aurora, if it was far enough out into the water, would not be visible from you right now anyway, because the Sea of Moving Ice and Solstice in particular are fairly far away. I mean, it's a 3-day trek by whale, so you're talking, it's a ways away.
Okay.
It's a whales away.
It's a ways away.
Damn it.
But that's what you see. She is on the move, flying away from the island.
When Dave's back downstairs, I say we ring that fucking bell.
Yeah.
Bing bong.
Well, we should inspect the cabin.
Take
first.
Yeah,
the
we
lead,
should.
motherfucker.
I mean,
I'll check for traps, anything that's would be of note, especially before we ring the bell.
Okay.
when Una comes, like, out of her scrying thing, she will say that, like, the aurora, like, it's disappeared from our sight, but it still is visible, like, on the island. Like, it's not gone, it's just...
Moved.
It's moved.
Contained.
Or
Yeah.
concealed.
Yeah.
Concealed, I think, is more likely. And as much as Sai can summon light, she can probably summon darkness.
Mm.
I will turn on my detect magic scanner
Okay.
and
And you're going in the cabin specifically?
yep, and I'm gonna be somebody stealthy about it as well,
Mm-hmm.
just in case somebody's there. So in case it's needed, I got an 8 for stealth. So great job.
You have advantage on that.
Thank you.
Because of Puafwi.
That's right, I do. Thank you. All right, that's a 15 then.
All right. You detect no traps and no magic.
Sweet.
Entering the cabin, which, are you entering the cabin?
Oh yeah.
All right. Thick rime coats every surface and every object in the cabin, including a bed draped with a thick knit blanket. Beside the bed, a small hearth holds a precious store of firewood. The firewood is infested with worms that have eaten away at the tender parts of the wood, but it's safe to burn.
Same.
There is enough wood to light a fire for 3 days' worth of nights, and is stored in 6 bundles that weigh 30 pounds each. Some interesting information they included.
Cool.
It's a weird thing to put in the module, but okay.
Yeah.
Anything else that catches my eye? Like, or would an investigation check be called for?
Let's see.
Also, I'm gonna, seeing the coast is apparently clear, I'm gonna have my shield guardian get within 50 feet of me.
No, this place appears to be, very rudimentary, very rustic, by the sea cabin. It's sort of a one-room affair. The door has some barnacles that have built up on the edges from when the water has gotten too high, which it hasn't recently because it's all been frozen.
Yeah. It was a druid's house, so he's probably very minimalist.
It does seem very minimalist. It looks like it's really just a bed. There's enough space in here for him to set up a portable altar, or them to set up a portable altar and the fireplace. It looks like it's basically just meant to spend the night.
Yep.
Well.
Well.
I'll give this report. It appears clear for our purposes. I think we may safely ring the bell. I don't see anything preventing us from it. In the meantime, I think I will take a load off.
That's where my brain went to. In the meantime, I'll take a load.
Excuse me while I calibrate.
Where's my cool whale picture? I want to put it up for you guys.
Cool whale pick. Stuff is.
Cool whales in your area.
I sent you a pic of my whale. Please respond.
You took the words out of my mouth. Good job. I took the whale out of my
Took
mouth.
the whale out of your mouth. Whale, look at that shit.
What's the whale doing?
I tried to show this stack before. It's so fucking cool.
That's a badass whale too. All the fucking scars on his face.
Tassels and shit.
Except his mouth, because his mouth makes him look really silly.
So, after you've verified that the cabin is safe, and you're talking about ringing the bell, Oyamantaruk sort of waves a paw at you and gets your attention. May I ring the bell? I've always kind of wanted to.
By all means.
It is a giant bell, so we probably need someone fairly.
I was going to spoon it, but by all means.
You can ring it, but I'm going to watch.
Let it be known that, like, Makati is a little bit obsessed with Oyamantaruk in the way of, like, cloistered child leaves home and finds out that, like, cooler older sibling left home and, like, is totally fine. And it's just like, anything that you do, absolutely, yes, obsessed. And so, like, I'm, like, right behind them, like, while they're ringing the bell, I'm like, what are you doing? Like, is this how you do it? Like, it's very cool of you. Like, weird little lizard.
So he goes into his sleigh, and he goes into, like, his tent-making supplies and gets the hammer he uses for pounding tent stakes. And, goes out,
Pounding hammer.
80 to 100 feet out on the deck and just bong, 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 hits the bell 3 times. And the sound echoes out over the water, and, kind of turns and looks at you and goes, I think it worked. And he comes back and goes, I don't know how long it's going to take for a whale to respond to the sound. Might want to get comfortable.
Can I like drop a fish in the water preemptively? I'm a little overexcited about this.
Chum the water.
Like a little bit.
It's not a shark.
I'm going to say perfect. It'll be infested with sharks when he shows up.
Eat the shark.
Best choice. That's not how sperm whales work.
Maybe we just bring a fish to the end of the dock to give when it gets here.
And light a fire or something.
There is a fireplace.
Become visible, yeah.
Turns out 3 rings means go away. Means like 1 ring
If
means
3
come
rings is
here.
danger, don't return.
It's true, we may as well wait in warmth.
3 rings says, I fucked your mom.
So do you want to go inside the cabin and wait, or you want to...
I think it's a good idea if we light the fire outside so the whale can tell where we are.
I'm like on the edge of the dock, just like looking into the water, like straight down. I know the whale's not going to come like that, but I'm just like, whale, where's the whale? Where's the whale?
Yeah, we have firewood here, so we can use it.
What do you guys talk about for 30 minutes while you're waiting for the whale?
So how's the weather?
Cold.
Fucking terrible.
Yeah.
So when I was a giant squid, right?
You were an octopus eye.
Well, could I technically, like, do it with a whale? And then we have, like, whale squid babies?
I believe it would be unwelcome penetration in that case.
I'm so glad I'm like not in this conversation and I'm just like over by the dock vibing.
You had 1 sloth baby, now you've got a pregnancy kink.
That's fine. We'll have a
That's fine.
Hey, don't kink shame, baby. You fucking eat people. And I'm fine with it. You'll be fine with it. I'm good down with you. Huh?
Weirdos.
I think Zev's still in obsessive nerd mode, so she'll probably just muse like these events seem almost, as you surfacers call it, apocalyptic. It is interesting to be
Yeah, I like popcorn too.
at the forefront of it with you all.
Popsicles.
Mother says there have been many apocalypses and at least somebody always makes it through.
Yeah, usually the raspberry.
Oya Mantaruk will respond to you and say, I've known of many worlds that have come to an end. This one will end someday, but let's try to push that date off a bit, shall we?
Indeed. There's much to be done, and it's where I keep my things.
Thank you, Tick.
Figured you got that.
Yep.
I thought that was a rocket thing.
Could you say destroy the Earth?
Oh, God,
Gods, I hope not. That's where I keep all my stuff.
I've survived 3 or 4 so-called end of the world.
Approximately 30 minutes later, after you guys vibe for a bit, you can start to hear some splashing and
Fisher.
like cavorting in the water at the end of the dock. Who would like to go investigate? Okay.
I'm only saying.
Oh, wait, that's the whale. Yeah.
I imagine like Makati running like down the dock to go see it, but the dock
and
is
slide.
made of ice.
I'll go with them too, so I can have dancing lights going.
I
so
think
they
the
can
whole
see.
party's going.
Yeah.
We're all going to see the fucking whale.
What you see at the end of the dock isn't quite the whale, but it is interesting. A narwhal is playing around with some dolphins.
I'm guessing it's.
Yep. And they're splashing at each other and like wrestling. Playing tug of war over a big fish. Doing dolphin shit. And as your group approaches the end of the dock, the dolphins and the narwhal stop what they're doing and just start kind of checking you out and looking at you.
I'll cast Speak with Animals.
Okay. What do you say?
Greetings.
Hello.
Are you coming ahead of the great whale Angajuk?
Yep, we heard the bell. What's going on?
Well, we were looking for passage to the Isle of Solstice.
What?
Yes,
Why?
because there's some problems, and we think we might be able to fix them.
Do you worship the Frost Maiden? We stopped bringing Frost Maiden people there.
You did!
Yes.
That's fabulous news!
Yes, so turn around. We're not bringing you.
We're not Frostmaiden people.
Prove it.
What do we have that we stole from Frostmaiden people?
We
I
have,
show him my shirt.
we also-
Anti-Frost Maiden.
we also have Asterix, who
I'm compelled
is...
to point something out.
Point something
Cruz
out.
is totally making dolphin noises right now.
Yeah, I'm just imagining Kronk. Like, that's what... That's
Squeak, 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 squeaker.
Alright, let's
Yep.
rein it in. What do we have that we can prove that we're not Frostmaiden ding-dongs?
Well,
Good
Asterix
question.
is our religious person, right?
Sure, but does
She
she have...
should have something from her religious whatever god that she.
It's a pantheon religion. You can worship the Frost Maiden and worship
Yeah,
her.
that doesn't...
Go
Can
ahead.
they understand us?
Well, they can understand me.
Hold on. Kate wants to say something. What's up, Kate?
I look at Kus and I go, and anybody who is an enemy of the Queen and Heir of Shadow is an enemy of Ariel. Anybody who is a friend of the Queen of Heir and Shadow is an enemy of Ariel. And that is...
Alright, yeah, I can't
Do
say
that.
the words in order, but I'm
Yeah.
going to repeat that message and see if they recognize that.
All right, so you're stepping to the forefront?
Well, no, I'm saying it because I'm Speak with Animals.
Right.
Yeah.
Right, but they don't know what you're talking about.
Okay, then...
You kind of have to point, because she's in the back.
Well, no, I'm repeating what she's telling me.
Okay.
Like, he's acting as a translator.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. They're like, okay.
Alright, that doesn't mean anything. So that was a good idea, but...
I'll step forward as well, so they can see me. And to interpret it, it's like, I am a drow from the Underdark. My gods are not yours of cold and winter.
All right.
and I'll say I'm a worshiper of the spirits, and I call Nyanthai, and I say, here's one, he's an asshole.
I was supposed to be a sacrifice to Auril. I have no reason to love her.
All right. That sounds like good enough cause to make a persuasion roll. Why don't we make it a group persuasion roll? All of these things will matter.
May I give an assist to someone? I can vouch for...
Yeah, you have
Sai.
your mastermind assist.
I
Yeah.
can vouch for you, Sai, and say, and this one is clearly the property of some sort of spore queen.
You can give that to someone who's, yeah.
Who's bad? That's me. I'm awful. I'm -1.
Okay.
I'm good at persuasion.
Okay, then my assist to you, Kus, will
How good.
be... Ever since I have met this Rivel, he has met your winter goddess's minions in battle and thwarted her plans left and right. Together we have.
Your assistance is greatly appreciated. I'm at 17 instead of 6.
Okay.
And 23 for me.
Did I get inspiration for the recap?
Yes.
Where are we all at?
14.
14. All right.
6.
6. That's a group success. Okay.
Hey!
Cool. So the narwhal listens to you give your various evidences. And he says, all right, we'll get Angajuk. He's a little grouchier these days, but you'll be all right. We'll tell him you're good people.
We have snacks.
We brought food.
Where?
So let's share with the narwhal. Yep.
Back and I yeet the fish in the water.
And there's a mini feeding frenzy as the narwhal and the dolphin tear this dead fish to bits and eat it.
We hope it's dead anyway.
It is now. And they say, wait here. Swim underwater, and then you get the massive breach of Angajuk as it comes up out of the icy water and literally does the full whale breach, and in kind of a dickish way, sprays you with cold water that you didn't really want.
That's how they greet.
But he swims within jumping distance of the dock, and you can see the big ship mounted to his back with the air bubble. It's like a translucent bubble as it's actually exposed to real air. He lulls one big giant head to you so his eye can focus on you, and I'm Angajuk. What are your names?
I'm called Kuspalad, and I introduce the rest of you.
Nikadi?
It's a lot of names.
Zevi and Faybranch.
He's speaking common, by the way.
Yeah.
I figured.
Philip Sabin.
Una Matthews.
And Oye Mantaruk introduces himself, and Valin kind of awkwardly, Valin Harpel, and Asterix hi, I'm Asterix, and just fades into the back.
Asterix is just a little star after.
And he goes, my friends tell me you wish to go to Solstice.
Yes.
What is your purpose there?
We believe that the Frost Maiden has caused undue chaos in this area, and we hope to undo it.
I'm sorely tempted to agree with you. But I have to, for my own conscience, alert you to the danger that non-worshippers will face when they get there. The children travel here and there on their mistress's giant bird, and he sort of exposes that scarred portion of his face. The bird and I have had several unfortunate run-ins. If the bird catches my scent or sees me in the water, it will attack. The cost to purchase my services is that you must kill that bird. It hunts me in my own waters and makes me feel unwelcome in my home.
Oh, that's not right.
Injustice.
If you can agree to kill the bird, or at least die trying, I will bring you where you want to go and bring you back, or what remains of you, to this spot.
That's a good deal.
That seems mighty kind of him.
Is that a upfront payment kind of deal?
I have a feeling that the payment will find you.
You know, you're right. Yeah.
Riding upon my back is with its own perils.
Yep.
That bird among them.
It's an experience.
And just, again, taps rifle. I'm ready for some aerial target practice.
With that, he sort of angles his back so that the boat is within a comfortable jumping distance of the dock, and says, well, then gather your things and mount up.
I give Nine-Tie a kick in the ass. Get on the boat! Asshole.
Up we go.
Boat go.
That's right.
The shield guardian just sort of makes one long step onto the boat, and Angajuk regards it with a sort of a wary eye, and it's quite the magnificent creation.
We hope it'll be of some use in assaulting the defenses of followers of Oril.
Is this what this is, then, a all-out assault?
If it needs to be.
Order should be restored to the 10 towns, to this land. There is a place of darkness, and that is from where I hail.
Very well.
They don't deserve to have it inflicted upon them like this.
The rest of you mount up. And Angajuk sort of starts maneuvering through the icebergs and then down under the water. And this bubble that is filled with breathable air sort of lets off its own bioluminescence, so you can see all the wonders of the sea underneath you, and all the icebergs floating overhead.
Is it like permeable or is it like pretty solid?
You can't pop it, but if you really wanted to, you could put your hand through it.
Yeah.
It's like Jello.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of what it feels like.
100%.
Frozen Jello.
Relieved sigh followed by sounds of wonder.
Like you
Sai,
know,
stop relieving yourself.
I was going to say you relieve sigh.
you know when you're
About
driving
damn
in
time.
the summertime and you're doing that thing out of the car. Like,
That's exactly kind of what it is.
Yeah.
You feel like the current, it's freezing cold. You can't
Yeah.
put your hand out there for more than a few seconds, but like you can feel the current go by, and the when they see your hands going through the bubble, the dolphins will actually swim up and like a dog trying to get pets. Like
yes, 100%.
Yeah.
So you play with the
Not
dolphins
those
a
kind
little
of
bit.
pets.
Yeah, heavy pet.
Heavy pets.
Yeah,
They turn over on their backs.
yeah.
I'm like, why does it feel? Ah,
That's a dick. Yep.
The water just got warm. Oh no, never mind. And as you go, Angajuk possesses the ability to speak underwater in a way that you can hear it inside the bubble. And he goes, "It is a 3-day journey from the shore to the Isle of Solstice. Make yourself comfortable. I will take us by the safest route, but perhaps some sightseeing along the way." And
Very well.
Oh, sweet. I forgot my camera.
and he does take you in a way that, and he shows off things that are kind of cool for a whale, like big shipwrecks, which are kind of neat.
Yep.
I'm sorry, that's cool for me, a person who doesn't exist underwater.
But also like coral reefs, fun.
Nature.
We're basically going on a 3-day glass bottom boat ride.
Yes.
Oh, for fuck's sake, we're on a 3-day tour instead of a 3-hour tour. It's about, yep, all right. That makes you Gilligan. I think
I
Zeb
didn't
is
even
the
pick up
professor.
on that, but yeah, that's probably why they picked that number. Does anybody wish to ask Angajuk any questions on the way there?
Are we there yet?
How is it that you were awakened by a follower of Auril
Yes.
and now find yourself at odds with Auril? Or at least with their followers.
I was awakened by Anga, a descendant of Helgren. When Helgren awakened me, I was a young whale and only knew gratitude for the gift that I was given. I've had in my long lifetime the chance to speak with many awakened creatures, and we're all grateful for the gift of knowledge when it's bestowed upon us. But as you gain in years and wisdom, you can overlook gratefulness and begin to think critically about what you see from the gift giver. Auril was once a goddess like many goddesses who tended her portion of the divinity and brought harsh winters to this place, but it was always relieved by spring and was balanced by gods of sunlight and summer and warmth. This everlasting winter is unnatural. It makes the fish hard to catch. It makes the people skinny and angry and distrustful. Auril is not the gift giver. Auril is just the cruel maiden of winter. And without something to balance her out, I fear that this world will perish and freeze over.
What is the balance that has been removed?
And at that, Asterix will say, well, Lothander, I think. The god of sunlight and summer. And Angajuk just sort of makes like a grunt, like, ugh. Like,
That guy.
yeah. More like, I agree with you, but I don't know what you're talking about kind of a thing. Like, and Angajuk goes, possibly. I don't have the luxury of speaking with many religious people. All I know is that when I swim in the cold waters, it is for a few months, and then I swim in the warm waters. Swim in the cold waters for too long. And to find warmer waters, I would have to leave my home. I know that that is not the way it should be. Anga no longer visits me. I fear that she has been captured by old age. And her daughter Evite has never visited me. We are not friends. I feel I hold no debt to the one who awakened me any longer. Thus I'm free to speak my mind and carry who I will. I did bring the followers of Auril to this island long ago. I bartered with them as I barter with many people. But once I made up my mind about the natural order of the world and how it has been upset, I decided not to contribute to their effort any longer.
Appreciated.
And is that why your friends here are vetting those who ring the bell on your shore?
Yes, that and to prevent nuisance visits. There was a time when people would come and ring my bell just to say hello. I used to like to cavort with people, but I found them tiresome after a while. Now they screen my calls.
I did have a question when you were done, Goose. How did the divinity called Auril obtain this kind of power over this world? I've never seen anything like it.
I don't know. I wish I did. Your cause seems just, and I wish to contribute to it, but under the water, I don't get exposure to that kind of information. All I know is that being connected to her through the magic that she channeled through her follower to awaken me, I feel as though it's a different feeling being connected to that type of entity. It doesn't feel the way it did when I was a younger whale, and perhaps I'm just old and bitter, but I don't know. It just feels as though she's been somehow tainted.
I see. Incidentally, do you know a squid?
I know many squids.
A giant squid.
Most of them are assholes.
An awakened giant squid.
An awakened giant squid, you say that?
Yeah.
An awakened giant squid.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know an awakened giant squid. Is there an awakened giant squid?
There
Apparently,
is.
yes.
You should have led with that. Where did you see this beast?
Describe where the shipwreck was.
That is good information to know. I will avoid that spot. Giant squids are assholes, and I imagine that awakened giant squids are just awakened giant assholes.
Zev will just laugh at his candidness.
I hate
Underwater
squids.
illithid.
Might have just saved us a
No.
encounter.
Angajuk?
No.
Don't do it.
What up?
Sigh, no.
What do you call a whale with bad posture?
What?
A humpback whale?
Get off.
I pick up
Get
the
out.
and I yeet him through the bubble.
That's really dumb. But I liked it. Tell me another.
What do whales eat to stay healthy?
What?
Vitamin C? Get C? Like,
Arr.
vitamin...
You're krilling me here.
He makes a little fart noise with his blowhole.
It's actually a fart and a whole bubble sticks for the next 3 days.
It's like somewhere between like a burp and a fart.
Yeah, I cast silence on Sai.
A barf. Or a fart.
I think to pass the time over 3 days, I'll just ask the question of,
Are we there?
assuming we succeed in all of this and dispel the endless winter, what will you all do afterward?
Is that an open question?
It is.
Uh,
I think it is good that we think about the future and imagine one in which we have succeeded. It can become more real that way.
There was a time when it was safe to travel through these lands by road, and I intend to see it done.
You'll remain here then.
I always have. It's my home.
I miss the sun. I have not seen the sun very often living up here, but I think I will go where the sun is up more often than it is down. I will not miss the cold.
Like that Chult place.
Perhaps.
Hmm.
Somewhere where I can lay outside and feel the energy of the sun, turn my scales warm again so that I can feel the extreme opposite of whatever darkness and death resides within me.
And William Antaruk will say, you mentioned Chult. Have you seen it?
We have, actually. There was, you know of Good Mead.
I do.
She speaks of it with kind of a heavy voice, kind of like trying not to glance at Una. There was a portal there, in their meadery, which led to the place. Indeed, it seemed to be a source of bees and coffee. She gets a grimace on her face and looks at Sai. In
Una,
any
you're
event,
from
it seemed
Good
very
Mead, aren't you?
warm.
Yes.
And did you see Chult as well?
I did.
And Asterisk goes, I'd like to go to Chult. I'd like to go to Chult and see Kazan. Kazan was a good guy.